Yeah, that would be fun
The
too.
projector.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do
And then
that
as
in
people
some-
drive down Main
They
Street,
do some of
see it.
that in the bigger cities, yeah.
Why couldn't we do it, Andrew?
We could. I think the biggest concern would be projector placement. So we'd have to figure out a safe place to.
Up high, enclosed, on the side.
Yeah, we'd
illuminating.
have to put it in the right building, I think.
Well, I'm thinking of where the art space is.
Yeah.
That blank wall right there, put something white up
Yeah,
there.
what I was thinking is, we'd have to put it in one window.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I don't think there's power in that building right now.
Harriet, is there power in there?
Well, there's power, but I don't know if it's turned on, because the city owns
Yeah, I
it
don't.
now.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
yet. The power.
what about broadcasting up above Blackjack's, where they used to have a small inn, onto the building of Space to Create?
Yeah,
Yes,
Like
yeah.
that's possible. We'd have to look
an
into
idea.
logistics wise. Yeah, that would be something to look into potentially.
What's that cosmetology station where you used to be the nail station? What's her name? You could just do like a moving scene of whatever you wanted. It's right across the back of Safeway. That's a whole movie.
It's a white building. I don't think
She'd be on board with that. in a
I know.
heartbeat.
We just hadn't done it yet, but we that's what was one of the ideas.
What kind of a projector? I bet the city's got some sort.
There's just so much technology out there. If you gave
Okay, did
somebody
we see that yet?
Nope, we are.
Because I missed it.
Yeah, I don't need to see it.
That might even be a draw to the city.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go watch a movie in Trinidad.
Yeah.
Ready? Bring the
Fly cam, it's the loud-ins.
and we'll go afterwards. We can go up to the conference, the bigger room, and show it on the TVs.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Oh, I can see that on the side of Safeway, really.
So that was something.
But for us to help the merchants the last stretch here, so to get people downtown to see the lights and then they'll shop more is what I'm hoping.
Well, that would sure be an intense one.
And just if there's people from other communities, I mean, it's easy if it gets shared to people in Pueblo and Colorado Springs. That's a 2-hour drive to see Christmas lights. People drive farther and sit in way worse traffic. To do
Absolutely.
that in Denver.
And just people that can have extra money that live in the surrounding area of Trinidad and Aguilar.
Raton and
You know?
there's a commerce population of about 15,000 people.
So it did print some stuff.
How soon could you like do a
Budgets,
pretend thing, get the
so-
projector down there and just try illuminating it on Safeway from Bobby Cave's?
Anybody else want to talk it?
We would have to go over a little more logistics by that, and then
Stick it in her window, turn it on, and put it on the side of Safeway.
Thank you.
well, we would have to work with Safeway as well, because I know they before haven't wanted anything.
Even do you have an extra one? Well, that's going on the site, right?
Yeah, so this will. So that. A couple of the other social media sites. And
You know, it's because of the way shares work, and shares are really great, because we all know why we all have friends that we don't have. The way that sometimes it can work better is if when you initially post it, you post it with Cy Michaels, with Camilla, with the people that are part of it, and the reason for that is then we don't share it, and then but my friends automatically see it, so we get a lot more likes on it, so it stays on the top.
So when you're
quicker.
posting this, tag us.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be better.
So
if like you post it and I share it.
So we're post the
I'll post
the
it.
city Facebook page will post it on tourism.
Okay. So
And then I'll copy you guys.
And then copy us, and then tag us,
And the reason for
and then it goes on.
And the reason for that is that if it gets posted on the city site and the city gets 20 likes and I share it and I get 20 likes, it stays somewhere in when new people are pulling up Facebook. However, if you automatically tag us to begin with and we get 40 likes, we stay up on the front to make sure that people only see it right away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
Yeah, we can
So
do that.
if I may, could Harriet go?
Ran that by because that was petitions communications, and I don't know if anybody else had anything, petitions or communications that they wanted to
So
do.
I'm glad I didn't say anything. You know, tourism has been supporting SCRT since the beginning, and we always, always love having you. A proposal for funding, and we never heard anything back officially. Available because of the cost of the trolley and the fireworks, but to check back in to at least give you a report, because you have put a lot of money in SCRT in many ways over the years. And when I read the grant application that I wrote in April 10th, it just seems like goals for this year. Our marketing focus for this year was to fill every target audience approach. Well, we did not raise enough money to do. I found it interesting that our outside zips our audiences, and our audiences did increase. We just that are there because we can't afford outside people more than we've ever had before.
Or 20%.
I would say it was at least 20% a problem across the nation in the last few years. Disappear. So kind of as
All right, I got a
yes.
question.
Yeah.
When you said outside,
Right, we have a pretty extensive database, and so
Okay.
just buy a ticket and not let us have any information. But every time someone uses a book, and a lot of people, especially new people, like to sign. Okay, let's see. I know. And as you probably know, the cost of those is just getting frustrating for us. And even had to keep our print ads just to the local area, primarily wonderful guide that you folks put together. You want to make sure that and then, of course, the rest of the budget had to and just say, I'm sorry, we don't have any scenery, but we're a really quality theater. Happening around us was absolutely electric. Especially when I found very interested in the town, as opposed to the event, like, kids at a parade that don't notice the float. Really were drinking in what the downtown had. And so we had a lot of people who we could hear or actually came in. Cha-ching! And especially we had buying tickets for the Sunday matinee while they waited, having them in the audience. They had their backpacks with them. They had just spent a weekend in the theater watching a Broadway level play, and you could just see them walk out saying, well, we're going to have on your plans, but it sure helped SCRT. Now, we have been in operation 15 years, and it was kind of shocking. Every single thing, from the door that tells you, from the sign that tells you, and we know we cannot do the same thing and expect different results. And so, the name of our big campaign right now, the next 15. We in SCRT, we're transitioning out of leadership roles to support roles. And worked very hard to get a replacement artistic director. Necessarily having raised enough money yet, but knowing that's just what you do in this town. You throw out Eli Carpenter, and oh, this is on television and we don't officially roll this. He is one of the hottest young artistic. He accepted our contract, and the reason he did is so indicative of the creatives who come in a major theater in New York. But he said, why, when I could be in Trinidad that is just ready to explode? He's been working with us since October. So here are some of the things that are changing. Do that. And with the guidance of Eli and his contact, ready to roll out the whole new look and vision. Because usually, is learning in Trinidad, we're changing operations, policies, procedures, marketing, public, anywhere, and I've detailed that there. On the second, is going to put us solidly on the National Regional Theater magazine, is the preeminent magazine for theater, and he has connections there. We're moving forward. We have already theater critics in a lot of areas who are in the nation right now, and we are going to have a do. So there's some example there, but we will have a playwright. I cannot. Okay, I don't want to say too much because this is part of our rollout. But he is committed to come to Trinidad to have an American Western feel to it. So he's going to live in premiere it here. And the beauty of doing that is when you premiere a play, and if that play, they have to list originally workshopped in Trinidad, Colorado. Also, we're going to be, there's going to be more short theater. One of those as an additional piece this summer, and I can't tell you who it is. This is something that people have been saying, you really should do more Trinidad Our Stories. But the reason we have not been able to do all of these great ideas that people give us is people resources. And now that we're always working on financial sustainability, and every time we get up close to that, then something happens. And get
where you're at?
We're not at any place. We had to jettison most of our scenery because we used to be, you know, and we knew we were sacrificing our scene shop, but you betcha. For years, the college here, right?
Well, I'm talking about facility space-wise, because during the summer season, that's their lowest season because most of the athletes aren't here, and they have an idea for an initial sort of gappage of working from not having a scene shop to at least having maybe a. The president of the college is on our board of directors, so we're always. Numbers, Craig, and I'll have to get that to you.
Yeah, I'm just, is it,
I mean, because I'm thinking there's lots of summer, at least for the summer session, which is of used. I mean, I know all gym spaces aren't used very much during the summer, relatively, so you might be able to work out deals with that. I'm just thinking of ways to work out the time.
But you need to build your scenes sooner than summer, right?
Right, we start construction in April.
You can do some stuff off-site and then bring everything in beginning of May and hit it hard. It's just an idea to save a lot of money for a year.
Right, it is, and we've had donated spaces. We've moved all over the place, which is tough because we're talking about it, and that's probably where we're going to be again this. And we've had volunteers all of this time. Oh well, can't they happen? And the investment in paying in our Trinidad, and we all see that. What they shop thing, because it's so tough. But the size, you know, but I sure can dance, Craig. I think to be able to stand up the scenery because it's constructed in a shop, it's painted in a shop, then it's taken apart in modules and on trucks. About gymnasiums, I can't imagine anybody letting us cut and do what, I mean, we would have to protect the floor, but every idea is worth pursuing. So I'm writing that down.
Yeah, because I mean, I think if you
Right.
reach out to them, they're all high ceiling places, and all you'd really have to do to protect the floor would make capital, whether it is through the business or through fundraising. It's a large process to take on a new director.
Okay, then, all right. Challenges. What I haven't mentioned, at first I thought it was one company, but how naive of me. Then all of a sudden when we started looking for an average 50%, we always used to get housing for free because the cost was not too difficult when we had lots of vacancies. But last year it was like, because we know what's happening. The pressure not to raise the price of our rest of the nation or in big cities. It has not flowed.
County out of our zip code.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't that sort of change the argument that you could raise the prices, because if 80% of your business is from outside of the city, they've probably felt those economic changes, even though Trinidad hasn't?
Well, we could try that. You know, we have a price, and then we have a local discount.
So raise your normal price.
How much is $5 a ticket gonna bring you over the course of?
Discounts. We don't publicize the local discounts because if I'm an out-of-towner and I say, I'll take the local price, you know, we don't want to deal with that. So we say that tickets range from, when we have $12 seats for everybody, up to our top price, which is $35. I mean, that is so much better. And even if I'm packed, if I'm looking at a great show and I look around and there's only 15 of us there, you to really focus on that. And one of the ideas that Eli has, which takes up some seats, so we're cutting into the play is going on sometimes playing with ticket price. So we're trying to find some new ideas.
That's what I meant. It wouldn't be for those few people, you know, so idea.
Have you looked into upselling?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, tickets and drinks before, during, and afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Is you come 30 minutes to an hour beforehand, you enjoy.
We deal with the bar manager was getting complaints, so he lowered the cost. So we're going to go back
Yeah.
to that. Yay. Okay.
The theater, but can raise capital quickly.
Because we don't.
It's an event. It's
Right.
it's
It's
an
an event.
activity.
Right.
That's right.
You go into it with extra money on top. That's not a big
How
deal.
long does the plays last? Can I ask a question?
Sometimes just a little bit longer, but it's like going to a movie theater.
You can foster also that culture of having that words and talking or mingling with the theater and leave the theater right afterwards.
Right. Have you met Eli?
I have not.
Okay. Has all of these ideas for more audience engagement that begins when you actually, as you approach the theater here. We have run for 15 years on a 95 SCRT has survived because we know you cannot priority in their lives except for some people. So quarter time person who is our administrative assistant, a 1/3 time. We added that contract at the start of this year, and we managed 3/4 time artistic director. And right now we're kind of finding in. So what happens if we don't come up with the money that we need? Although we have land now, we started by the end of January, but we're running out of time, so we may have to use it for an event and then we run back in, and also for paying more. We will not cut back on productions. So I guess
Where's that?
we haven't signed all of the papers yet. That out. Yeah. Because of course
So is it
land is an expense too. You have liability. I just need to know where, as one of our sponsors, do this big rollout, or as previous, even knowing what the ballpark is. Sure would love to partner.
So overall, does that go? Or how much funding do you need to your 1/4 time social media person?
Marketing.
Yeah. What's the
Right.
overall? What's your
Those in place is $236,000.
and what are your revenues and commitments from other people?
Sorry, I didn't think to bring that because budget,
Mhm.
the 2017 budget, and the year to date. Raise in 2017, we're not there. And what
Your top 3 investors have been last year.
we have an endowment that 17,424 we've been working on with in the last 3 years. We are at a 5-year point where the endowment in 5 years, barring any horrible thing that might happen, and it's in the notes, with our addition of a shop and possible building of housing, still with and if our plans for audience growth, and I know they're going to be huge just because of the following that our new artistic director has and his links to big Broadway investors that he knows who are sniffing around and especially interested in the new works and will be visiting Trinidad. Everything is not pie in the sky, but that's part of our plan. And that plan that I had last year has changed considerably because of the impact of our new artistic director. But I will pull that up and I'll send it to Raven.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Great,
And
well,
thank you so
yeah,
much
thank
for
you
your
for
hard
coming.
work for the community and all that you do to inspire the local kids that I know are in some of those plays and stuff. It's really it is a great thing that we can market local theater in our downtown.
Well, back at you, gang. You've got a big job, and some of you have been hanging on this board for a long time, and I think that attests so much to the quality of the decisions that you make. And I thought that last night when I was looking at our SERT board of directors, and I realized that some of those people have been with this organization and this community for 10, 12 years, and I think, wow, that says something. And so, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Discuss about that.
So, of the tourism
Running
center.
the tourism center.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what's going on with tourism? How many people do we have signing in the books? The employees right now, or the volunteers that you may need assistance with?
Currently, we had a managers meeting with
Uh-huh.
all the managers.
And how many managers are there? I don't think we're...
They sent notes. It's not there. Probably 6 or 7
managers
of at other welcome centers.
Okay, so
Oh, no,
I
no,
mean
no.
I mean I'm exclusively talking about our welcome center. So there's how many paid employees right now?
Right now, there's 5 on the payroll.
And who are those
And these are
names?
part-time.
They're all part-time.
Okay, and so and Dennis, what was his last name?
Lentz. Lentz.
Okay. And so do you out of those other additional 4 people, do you have a true like assistant, or are they all sort of semi-assistants?
When I came on board from kind of like the beginning, I was given by Jennifer to do the brochures. So what I've been focusing on for my job there, and working the front desk and everything, is getting all the brochures organized in the back room.
So you just piqued my interest in, and so then what is everybody's job title if there's 5
Yeah, who-
employees?
First
Well,
of all,
we
who's
don't
in charge?
know.
Yeah, who's in charge
Who's in
then?
charge?
Jennifer is.
Oh, I was
super-
presuming it was you, so it's Jennifer that's in charge.
Jennifer
Jennifer
is
is the
currently the
supervisor.
supervisor,
Okay.
and she was she was not able to make the meeting
Okay,
today.
okay. And so then what are your job responsibilities? You started to say, I'm sorry. Brochures?
No, greeting the customers. I was given, when I was hired, I was given a job description of or whatever it's called. At that time when I came, none of the other people had that, so Jennifer took it and posted it. And I have really not looked at. I could supply that to you.
So everybody has the
that-
same job title? I'm just trying to,
Yeah, so
okay.
they're all. It's
Right.
basically there's the Jennifer, who is the overall manager of the Welcome Center, and then under that there's 4 part-time or full-time, depending on their schedules. Support. So some of them work 5 days a week, some of them work less, and then there's the volunteers under them. So it's sort of. She does a lot of the administrative ordering stuff, as far as I understand, from
Me?
upstairs.
I'm-
No, Jennifer.
Okay.
Jennifer does a lot of the work, like the getting information from other welcome centers, those type of things. I don't know what else she does, but I know that is one thing. And then it goes down to the paid employees, who are in charge of sort of managing and working with the volunteers and being sort of the at least one paid face that's to the public every time.
so what I'm looking for, and what I'm going to try to inflict a little bit, is that no matter what you do as an investment, there's a return on that investment. And so the tourism board is going to be funding the Welcome Center a little bit less than $60,000, as I understand with
I think so.
yeah,
We're
okay,
still
a little, yeah.
We're still trying to figure out.
I know,
how the
and
budget's
minimum
at.
wage is going up this January too, till $10.10 an hour, so that's kind of a serious issue. So being that we are doing that, and we want obviously the best for the city of Trinidad, what is the return on that investment? I would like to see the Welcome Center and the Welcome Center volunteers somehow inflict at least $150,000 of getting people downtown to. That's what I'm thinking, or something. So I want a return on investment. I really love that we have this Welcome Center here, and it is such a wow thing that we have it and how we're growing it. And I can't say enough how I know it's been really hard, Jonathan leaving, but what a pleasant surprise Andrew has been in his knowledge to help be part of the city and our team here too. So I just don't want to throw out $55,000-$60,000 and have the same thing we've always had. I want to see.
Now that's
Somehow,
coming out of our pocket, we want to.
I want it. Yeah, now that it's coming out of our pocket, I want to track somehow that if that return on if that's at $100 a day, that's $36,000 a year. So I would expect somehow that we get $300 a day average downtown to be spending money.
The visitors.
The visitors.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to sign the book. I want whatever we need, programs so that volunteers down there can reap some sort of reward system with free dinners and stuff that we talked about before, to get people downtown and actually spend money in the restaurants.
Center do research and present to us 3 to 5 options that other welcome centers are doing
Excellent.
to
Yeah,
active.
absolutely.
Well, based on this past year, and
And if we know we're
my first, because there's been so many problems over this Welcome Center over the last several years. Is it the states? Is it the cities? Who's going to be in there? What's going on? We have local businesses that don't have any information in there to share with visitors that are coming in, but they can sure find out about Pagosa Springs. So my first thought is, how much work is this going to take, and is it worth it at all? Why don't we just rent the thing out and let somebody rent inner tubes out of the building?
Couple months, and we keep saying we're going to have meetings and meetings and meetings with the Welcome Center. We have yet to do it.
that a lot of the conversation has been a lack of communication. They can't promote downtown if they don't know what's going on.
That is
Right,
exactly
right,
right. And
right.
that's
That
what we've
is-
been saying. And we've got to get them together
Can-
and tell them what is downtown. But we've been saying this
And
now
you
for
need a
2 months,
method to
and
do
we
that.
haven't
There needs
done
to be a
it.
system, yeah. There
And
needs
one
to
of
be a
the
system.
ways we wanted to do that, and we've talked about that, but we really take over in January, so, you know.
Right.
One of the ways we want them to be at our meeting or supporting events that they know that are going on. And that's one of the biggest parts, is that we want them at these meetings, you know. So in my opinion, all 5 of them should be here. They're paid employees and we're paying them from out of our money. They should be here and they should be engaged to us. They should feel our excitement. And we should hear from them who got upset because they went to the Welcome Center because we didn't have this or that or this. We need to hear that too. We need communication.
On the other hand, could it be feasible for Andrew to brief them on?
Tell you about what's going on in school next week, and you have your principal in your class telling you what's going on in school next week, you know. Point.
It needs to be a connect somewhere.
And so, you know, it's you know, it can only be meetings down there,
Right.
you know.
Well,
So
it's
maybe.
just
Oh, sorry. Finish it.
really told us what kind of authority we
or the learning or putting together a guide and
center to funnel them right downtown. We have no design for that either.
yeah.
So
Is it possible to share, because I sat in on the managers meeting with all the, with
Regional
Taryn and with all the people yesterday, and what they were discussing was their volunteers. And it became clear to me, some of them, they do have feedback. So I'm sharing it with you. It's willing, we just have to come up with a someone taking, I mean, I've got a van, I could take them around if that's what we want to do, or together and help each other. Even for me, our antiques and stuff.
Is that because I feel like that's what I can do with that. And so I spoke on just general downtown to the supper club. And some of them started saying before I started speaking, well, I work at the Welcome Center, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you're saying, what's going on down there, and I didn't even think about that. But as I started my what really is that in charge, and we need to have that person. And I really want to engage with whoever's in charge.
Run it like a normal business. Higher up weekly, lower
And
down.
you know what? It'll be
monthly
a
or
challenge for her, but
quarterly.
challenge whoever's in charge down there so that they can be that engaged. Because I was really happy when I people from the Welcome Center at that meeting. Challenged to know what was going on.
The 5 paid.
Before the end of December, a one-on-one with the director related to the Welcome Center.
Referring to is, or Jenny, I'll feel better when we
Did
get
she
done.
know about the meeting?
And
Yeah. For anybody up, this is to bring us all
Right,
better.
right.
Together of the beginning of trainings, the beginning.
He said he
Well,
thought
they were scared,
that
and I
you
Because from the state level, they're promoting education of the volunteers, and that was like a aha moment. Volunteer
I
manual
wanna see
that we're
it, I
down
want
to.
one.
Oh, okay,
great.
I will get.
Awesome.
Is after we do the education on the volunteers, they want a paper to Taryn and Mateo. So it was an aha, like I said, an aha moment for me, because I'm understanding how all the others.
Communications, because
Right.
Raven is.
Yes, would you
Yes.
like to be copied too?
Yeah,
'Cause all your email addresses.
Raven
Raven
will
will
send you a list
Oh.
of all the email.
Is that a good thing to?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
No,
And then I know she went to the bathroom and she came back in and working here. And then I went like this and I recognized her as I said, I met you at the Gov conference. She couldn't spend time here. I will. Just
Very quick.
she's made it
As a workshop all week this week.
that was nice.
I'm glad you would.
Sometimes things happen the way they
Yeah,
happen. Everybody knew that. She's excited about coming back to firmed up
We don't have
yet.
it firmed yet.
She's very look.
and as we talked about the 29th and 30th with the.
So I guess my recommendation was maybe for make so we communicate. We're going from a group that all knows what every. You get communications. Here's how you need to produce them to the board when guidelines for that and report back to us. So I'd say if we could do that before next meeting, so we can get for us, so we can look them over and see.
And you guys, that will come from her, so she doesn't. That she was working on that Monday, and I never. She
Did Kathy read
anymore, and that's another thing that's changing. The way that they're going to. It should be in the next few weeks. The way that they're going to. It should be in the next few weeks that they're going to put on our doors and every. Stopped and they gave the presentation at the Gov conference, and we were told to continue. The survey will continue. Information in, and what we've been doing throughout. We would get that information from the people because a lot of them don't use the iPads, and our important thing is, I was just reflecting, maybe we should turn it back over to the person if they want to fill out the iPad. They'll get the survey, And what that involves is like 3 weeks their time here, how is the welcome center and stuff like that. But they did reiterate that Mateo wants the important the welcome centers are. So I'm just sharing with you that that's changed. The state's changing. They track via, and we have required brochure. Thing that is neat required is there. It's a free service.
We all know what Google does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and I brought it to her attention again, and I will email her. But we are approved on our visitor guide, okay?
Guide that we just put out, is that what you're referring to?
Yes,
Is there
it's
something
approved
else?
by
Okay.
the.
But we'll actually be working on getting our 2018 one approved for the 2018 summer season. So this 2017 one,
Anita
No,
Cortez
no,
then
Because we have so few.
we don't have many left.
We don't.
thrown in there. Avoid the snow and take the southern route. Would you give me permission to send?
Is
Cortez is right.
Four Corners in Colorado.
In the Four Corners. That was just her asking.
We're going to have a meeting there.
We
About the welcome centers.
Awesome.
okay.
Okay, so we
Gotta get going.
Okay, review of the 2018 budget.
Cool.
We mostly we have new grants that are coming up, and most of the grants.
let's not talk about that yet. Those are these line items.
Yeah. I think, and I don't know if it was in this format or not. Budget, the tourism budget. It just has got a column. Does that mean 2018?
You're looking at the third
See,
column.
we're
This
not.
is-
We didn't get ours. Ours is blacked out.
So
Yeah.
I think the biggest question, and I know it's a question. Franchise focused on the promotion of Trinidad at $75,000. That we didn't, or I didn't personally think the whole package was necessary for next year. I didn't know.
The advertising budget for some of these.
We just thought that a few of those ads.
we have talked to. I have talked to Draven about pulling
Yeah.
potentially one or
Okay.
two of those ads.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's focus. The quality. Okay.
Can I ask a question? What
Of people that pick up his magazine.
But that's people in Trinidad. Is
No,
picking
that's
up.
The Legends ad, because people could depict that either way, depending on what your style is. Magazine, it surprises me all the time. Quarter, but it is one of those things. No matter if we like it or not, that
on investment with that stuff.
Right.
I think we need to focus on.
put it into? I sort of had a small conversation with Sai about this. When we have things that are exciting in Trinidad, we shot events and we boost those using different forms of social media and internet
And pull some of those
So-
magazines out.
That gives us about $1,000 a month to advertise. That gives us about at least a month. So we would have at least 2 basically hotshot contents a month. About around 18,000, I would say.
Which one, the board wants, is that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm. I don't think we don't have much, so let's focus it as.
Like she never came back,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I think she's sick. On anything because we're not focusing. We can focus because you have.
Yeah, we'll get-
Holiday video is gorgeous. It makes people want to
Right.
come to town. We need to. I can see that would be print, would be the Legends magazine because of the response. Of people heading down into Texas that are dropping those. Of people heading down into Texas that are dropping those things off down in Texas.
Yeah.
And we're
Say.
Because
I'm like,
it's-
this is
it's illegal and there's
it's a more
advertise in his.
Is because dollars or however much he's
Yeah.
asking for. Always the best situation to be in.
so the response that we get. I don't know if that's you guys' decision, if that's a
So let's have Raven contact him. An ad, so can we get so if you could get that out to the board though. All the advertisements that we did last year and what we're looking on the distributed. Do we get sort of a discounted larger mind share? But that's, I think if we can.
and yeah, that's just fantastic, Andrew. That's really fantastic. The other thing while we're talking about ads that I want to walk is going to be placed if it has not been contracted to place, and the reasoning behind the only city in the state of Colorado, and we were 7th in the nation, and I understand. I would hate for us not to have an ad in that magazine, being that we're being named something. Yeah, although it's not supposed to be said publicly yet.
And then since we're talking about advertising, that thing is so unnoticeable.
What
The one that says Trinidad on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that just says
Yeah,
Trinidad.
it's just such a
I-
small board. We've
But
done.
I had
we
already
lost that.
said, I already know I'm in Trinidad.
Right.
So that billboard right now is being, we've got,
Okay, let's do it. We're ready for a change in that too. I just, 1 year, and I wasn't part of it, they did not renew the board right after that. And that's the board that has the stop it OBs on it.
Yeah.
And what a horrible thing that used to have a
Yeah.
huge thing of the trolley and
yeah,
stuff.
a
that we
couple of
lost
things that they showed me would make me want to pull off.
Right,
And
good.
so-
Okay, let's do it. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And can you coordinate that with
Yeah, I'll-
Raven and
yeah.
Andrew? Okay.
great.
Okay, so. And exclusively, I think, the big stood out to us, but I know when we saw that $75,000 price for that, and we
I'll have Raven put up together all the.
compared to budget, Raven, what was the fall numbers on the tourism tax? Did we get that number from, How would
We
you
only have
feel
31
about
right now.
I'd be fine with an ad. We just need to keep an eye on them. He gets upset real easily too.
right?
But as far as some of these other things, we can just toss them away right now. You know.
Well, yeah, I think our ads get
Yeah,
lost
so-
and we're for no.
What's the consideration for the board of advertising the Huerfano Journal in 2018?
And how much does that cost?
We had some.
Full page.
Yeah, the summer guide, Spanish, and high up. Yep.
That you know, the world material on a daily basis as they go in.
So some.
Support Trinidad by talking about Trinidad. A lot of positive stuff in there. The
And they
Chronicle
bring
does
them
not.
to the Welcome Center
Well,
too.
weird brochure for our area.
Wanted to put that in.
I'm just
I-
saying.
People,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
My thought process to that is just kind of like you got a high school.
That would get us like 2 to 3 half-page ads.
Yeah.
It's not
And it
easy.
is support. We do things very well.
Yeah.
They really do.
Back to Steve's situation, you want to approve up prices.
What we're
He might give us the
Um,
center.
his ads, in my opinion, are atrocious.
Really?
The design of his magazine, in my opinion. School where
That
like
same
kids.
page
and
is
that's the
a
reason-
pot shop that,
It might be fair to go see.
no, I
Yeah.
don't think,
It's
well,
like
no,
2
but they're,
pages.
it's a centerpiece
They
and
have
they've got
they
it
have
full.
multiple. We of an advertisement.
It's more of an
book than it is-
advertising, it's,
Mhm.
you see more and more of an advertising magazines, locally of the pot shops, sorry.
They
Because
probably
they have the
pay him a
money.
boatload of money.
He's
Yeah,
making
it's
a
'cause
boatload of
they have
money
the,
for
they,
the pot shop.
they have the money.
That's what's running the magazine right now.
That's what's running the
Pot shop.
magazine.
That's
right.
it.
And so with Huerfano, up to 500?
So
Or
let's
do you
just
also-
to get ad price. Can I motion?
Yeah, this is
Motion.
motion.
So can we motion that we will spend up to $500 in annual ads for Huerfano Journal
For the 2018
for the
fiscal year.
2018 fiscal year? And then,
I'm supposed to.
Vote, I, no, I didn't, I just say
You
vote.
seconded.
any opposed? Okay. Okay, now the Trinidad Blues Fest grant request.
I'm out of here.
We don't have $36,000
Uh-huh.
right now.
Okay,
Whether we're gonna,
But we may be able to revisit that after we revisit the
Okay.
ads and
I would
something
I would
else.
recommend that we revisit that.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Okay,
Go ahead.
What's the one in June?
Santa Fe
Arcade?
Trail Festival,
Santa Fe Trail Festival is more local and regional.
to the Chamber of Commerce, any monies that we've given them that last year, that we need a recap on how that was spent.
The Chamber of Commerce.
Well, they do
They
the
run
Santa-
the Santa Fe.
yeah,
They
yeah,
run
yeah.
They run
We
the
need a
Santa
recap on that.
So that I think we don't need to worry about. Okay, Rodney festival we have is Trinidad,
I agree.
and so
I agree.
whatever we have, we should.
I'm not saying it on camera because they haven't done it, but they do have,
Day Festival, Blues Festival brings in about 46 to 48 From the Arctic
No,
Arctic. The Blues Festival, and that is 46 to 4,700.
Yeah, right.
And the good thing about
that is the first
Yeah,
one scored.
Arcade doesn't bring in that kind of people.
The
State,
there are
and they
or
love
a
to come out on
parade. So
parades.
so
That's where you're
parades
getting
is
that
not.
kind of count of people. It's
But
a local parade.
with 1,000 people.
There
too.
was 10,000
So
people
there-
for the lighted parade, and I
Okay,
that loved
but
the parade.
I have to, with that, I have to say though, that not only have Susan and Rodney done a
Right.
fabulous, unbelievable job with Arcade, the best thing that I see about Arcade, now they have their museum downtown, is that they amazing job of marketing the name of Trinidad all year long. I'm in another town in Colorado, and I'm like, that's the I-van. So that is the biggest part of Arcade. It's not even the one-day event, even though they do a phenomenal job with the night, without a doubt. And last year, when they had it out at La Porta, oh my gosh, was that really packed. It was unbelievably great. But
button ticket of anything right now.
But so they haven't asked for anything, but I just really want to,
Well, money for any new thing.
because of the budget and
You guys are filled every night. I look at the
In because we have no place for them.
And so
well, there's
we're
one coming.
working on.
Because we know that.
But I would recommend that he's probably at least getting a one.
Tax wise, in the that we hit because they got it.
Yeah,
So
that's
we knew
that's our is number 2. So refocusing the money.
well, and I think hard,
So we will cancel.
sad. So we will.
You really
I-
can.
We still
I mean, because in the back of my mind, that's why I want.
You gotta learn to get our money.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very beginning, the communications rule are written, but hotel things. What was going to go? Really a wonderful response from the supper club, and some of them were more.
So our next meeting is on Wednesday the 27th. Information out to you that we've talked about.
We won't be meeting till January.
Yeah.
I would say we could do probably a first hour here and a second hour fiscal financial stuff, and then have more of it.
Together as a group, we should.
$2,000. There are a lot. Doesn't like I don't walk in and say, "Wow, this is." Yeah, right.
And we've
That's
had
what I'm
people
looking for.
we've had people come to us with ideas. So I
Uh-huh.
think once we get the takeover and operations going, then me and Raven can bring some of the
Yeah.
ideas that
We need to get all those.
outside businesses have come in.
Who can
Yeah.
actually give us some suggestions
Right,
too.
Exactly.
right.
Right.
And right, big board. We want on hearing everybody out because
Raven will tell Jenny as well, but to let them know that from 10 to 11 a.m. reporting stuff over here, and then we can carpool over there and do our hour visit
Right.
over there.
Remember Raven, so then the first meeting in February.
So we can have an update on our finances. That's always the best.
Yeah.
And you can work. Or have a meeting with you. Actually, it'd probably be best if you can ask her to have a meeting with you and go over.
There was a printout from the historic district, what's happening in November.
Actually, it'd probably be best if you can ask her to have a meeting with you and go over.
There was a printout from the historic district, what's happening in November, December. And we made copies and actually that was brilliant. So we remember. And we made copies and actually that was brilliant. So we've been giving them so they know.
So that,
to do. And y'all in favor of very big bonus at the end. Let's get it done. Let's get
Yeah. So that
the
is
marijuana.
So that's sort of the transition. Less degrees and those type of things.